Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Stocks to Watch. So, this is going to be a video series where I will try to share the stocks that are going to be in my watch list for the next day and the upcoming days to come. And let's get started without any further delay. So, let's quickly have a look at what Nifty is doing, which is the benchmark index. And what we can clearly see that Nifty had a very good rally from March of 28th all the way until here. So, in last 2 months, we were up 10%, and we basically had a straight line rally, so we never really consolidated enough. So even once we saw the first leg of the rally over here, we did a little pullback, we moved up again, did a small little pullback, and then eventually we tried to kind of create this trading range, and then we broke out of it today. So today's day was not the most bullish in my opinion, and now we are kind of tapping into these areas of supply, which I feel is going to be extremely important. So I believe Nifty has got another maybe 200, 300 points. I think that is the kind of rally that could probably be left, at least in the short term. And I believe that there is no real reason to actually be bearish on the markets, not at all. I think this is a market where a lot of mid cap action, a lot of small cap action, a lot of sector specific action is coming in, and I think that is what you should be focusing on rather than trying to trade the index. So that's my personal view. Now, if I look at the Nifty's chart on a smaller time frame, let's say the 15-minute time frame, so now what it basically tells you is that there is this pocket which basically can be covered. So this is the gap which we can essentially try to test, so around these areas over here. And after that, if we try to get inside this range, we actually have no support or an area of demand until the 18200. So we could then witness like a decent 1-2% correction in the near term. So as far as Nifty is concerned, I think we are pretty bullish right now. The location of the price is obviously not the best because we've had a gap and then we've got like a very big move. So there is obviously a pullback needed. But if we try to open somewhere around this range tomorrow, so if we start opening beyond this tomorrow, I think then another 200, 250 point rally is something that can easily come in. Now, talking about Bank Nifty, I'll just quickly discuss that. Bank Nifty also has been at record highs. And if I look at the daily chart, so Bank Nifty right now has reached its all-time high. And this is where I feel there could be problems for Bank Nifty, because what you can really see is that, a technical breakout, the so-called breakout has happened, but I believe this is more likely to be a fake out and the price is going to dump like this, because we've not really seen strength in a lot of financial names, a lot of banks. What is actually running this rally is PSU banks, some banks which were very less favored in the past, like something like Karnataka Bank, maybe CSP Bank, City Union. All of these banks, Maharashtra Bank, Union Bank, all of these, Jammu and Kashmir Bank, South Indian Bank, all of these small little banks are basically pepping up this run, and we've not seen the big heavyweights like ICICI, HDFC, Kotak, IndusInd, and even SBI for that matter, which were really a participant of this big rally. So what I believe is Bank Nifty is literally at a cautious area. I don't feel there should be any fresh long positions created over here unless and until you know what you're doing. So what I personally feel is that only if Bank Nifty starts to trade near this high, only then I'm going to probably try to initiate a position. So maybe a move up like this, and then maybe in this range, I would try to create a position. However, I'm not a Bank Nifty trader in the sense that I don't really like to trade Bank Nifty a lot unless and until I've got a very good opportunity. I would rather stick to probably Nifty and the mid cap and the FNO stocks. So that is my personal style. So if you are a Bank Nifty trader, that is the action plan for you. And always remember that there is a very big gap again, just like Nifty, you've got this gap which can get filled. And if that happens, similar to Nifty, we've basically got these areas of demand until which we can definitely see a dump. So Bank Nifty potentially, again, just like Nifty, could really witness like a 2%, 2.5% drop in case that happens. So we are at a very important area in both Nifty and Bank Nifty. I feel indices will not be the best idea to be trading in the next few days. I think they are going to face issues, but there are pockets of strength in all of these stocks, which I'm going to be talking about. And now let's start discussing that. So before I start discussing SAMSERA engineering, I would like to tell you that I have seen that in the last few days and even today, there was lots of action in engineering stocks. And in the past few weeks also, on the past few days, we've seen a lot of action in, industrials, building materials, real estate, oil and gas, all of these spaces have done very well, and especially mid caps and small caps after blockbuster earnings. Even today, a lot of numbers were announced. I will try to update that in the next video because I did not get the time to kind of go through them. But fabulous numbers by a lot of mid cap, small cap companies, and earnings growth is here to stay. And hence, a lot of mid cap companies are expected to do really well. So, this entire engineering rally actually started when Engineers India, SAMSERA, Varroc Engineering, you saw AIA Engineering, and I think ISGEC. They also reported earnings today. So a lot of these industrial engineering companies have reported outstandingly well, outstanding earnings, and I think this is going to continue to stay. And today's stock that we are watching is SAMSERA. So after it made an IPO high over here, it basically was consolidating in this particular range. After it kind of came here, it now, after this big impulsive move, it is now trying to create a range, and now the prices are making higher lows, prices are contracting in a range, and right now we have got a blockbuster kind of an area over here, because I think we can expect a good explosion. Now, not only the technical structure is very good, but as I said, engineering companies in general are doing really well. So this company called ISGC, which is ISGC Heavy Engineering, they reported outstanding earnings today after market. So that is obviously going to build up sentiment. And apart from that, BHEL, the management of BHEL was very confident of a turnaround in demand. So again, everything is kind of pointing out that engineering companies are going to do really well given all the infra investments that we are seeing both from the private and the government sector. So long story short, Sansera Engineering should definitely be on your watch list. And this is obviously from a swing perspective. If you want to trade this intraday, I wouldn't really recommend, because this is not a stock which is very liquid. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the daily, I think once the price starts to trade in the 800 range, it's just going to explode. So any entries based on your trading system, whatever trading system you're comfortable with, I think this should definitely be on your radar. Sansera Engineering. So that's the first stock. Now, even if you want to look at this on the smaller time frame, it actually looks pretty decent. All the supply is above these wicks, so I think any kind of price action into this particular range right here is going to be extremely solid. So I think that's the reason it's going to be really important to watch the stock out. So that's Sansera Engineering for you. Let's move on to the other stock. Give me a minute. Okay, now let's talk about BHEL. So, as I said, the management commentary for BHEL was extremely solid, extremely strong. And if you look at BHEL's chart right here, BHEL was an underperformer in the past few, weeks and months after the initial rally in 2022. But now what the stock has done is post earnings, the stock has kind of, shook out the lows over here, and it is now ready to kind of explode towards these highs, and maybe towards the 100 areas, or at least a break of the 91 92 area. I think this definitely should be tested. There were multiple brokerage upgrades which were talking about how good BHEL's earnings were, and the closing was very strong. So keep an eye on Bharat Heavy Electric Limited as well. The next stock on radar is Wellspun Enterprises. Now, this stock is not one of the best, but I think the stock is about to report its earnings. And what we have seen is that the stock is into a very tight range over here. We filled this gap, and I think this is the gap which could then be filled. And there is enough room for the stock to move until the 175 area. So I think this is a very strong, fundamentally strong stock, had a very good pullback. And today's closing was not very convincing, but just keep a radar on this stock maybe for the next 1 or 2 days. I think you will see some action. If you ask me, is it one of my hot lists, one of my hot picks in my watch list for tomorrow? I would say no, but I will just keep like a close track on this because I feel it could do something interesting. Next stock is from the small cap space, which is GK Wires. Now, today the stock hit an upper circuit, but if you look at the technical structure for the stock, this has been absolutely phenomenal, right? So after we broke out of this very big base over here, so this was like an accumulation stage one kind of a base, and now we're probably into stage two, and now we are seeing another base like structure over here, and I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic once it starts exploding. And we've seen a lot of wire companies, a lot of cable companies do extremely well. Birla Cable is another stock which we all at StockWiz we are currently having a position in that. And if you look at all other cable operators, cable companies, I think DP Wires was also doing extremely well, outstanding numbers. So again, wire companies, cable companies, and again the same industrial theme is playing out really well. So keep an eye on GK Wires if it doesn't open in a circuit, and if you get a chance to enter, mind you, this is a mid cap, small cap stock, so getting in, getting out is going to be a challenge. So do not trade this if you are not skilled with trading mid caps and small caps, and if you don't understand what liquidity is. So, but still keep a watch out on this stock, and whenever you see structures like this, I think they're going to do extremely well. So that's the next stock. Now the other stock is Lumax Technologies. Again, similar structure, stock trading near all-time highs, and now what the stock is doing is it's creating a range. The stock is moving very tightly into this range, and this could explode anytime soon. The stock also has earnings tomorrow, and this is auto OEM, auto original equipment manufacturer. And today Rico Auto reported earnings, and their earnings were blockbuster. Even Sona Comstar's earnings were very good. So this auto OEM theme, I think this could play out. And I'm also going to talk about another stock in the same list, same category, same sector, which is uh, okay, the stock was Gabrielle. Sorry, I forgot about that. Gabrielle. And Gabrielle is another stock where we currently have a position. And I think this is also going to do really well. So Lumax Technologies, very good stock. I think good for a swing. From an intraday perspective, if you find an entry, I think that could also be really interesting. But I think this is going to squeeze out very shortly. So keep a watch out on that. The other stock is Apollo Microsystems, and again, this similar stock, near 52-week high, or I think all-time highs. The stock is nearing all-time highs, and the stock is again creating like a tighter range over here, and there is lots of room for the stock to move. And the last quarter earnings were also very good. And again, this is more like well-spun enterprises where the consolidation is not very mature, but again should definitely be on your radar given the fact that how strong this stock has been. So I think this is probably going to be a bigger breakout, in the sense that that's the trading range that we are currently dealing in, right? So that's the broader trading range that we're currently dealing in, and I think any kind of a contraction here, I think it's gonna see a massive explosion. Keep it on radar. It's not trade ready yet, but just keep it on radar. Next up is Gabrielle, and as I just told you that we already have a position in this. We took a position today, and a similar structure, similar story, right? We're coming out of this base consolidation after a big up move, price taking a pause, and now the price is ready to move out of this. So the price definitely has a lot of room to move another 10 to 12 points from here. And as I said, the OEM companies have reported good numbers, good earnings, and this is set to after the earnings that Gabriel India reported, the earnings and the numbers were very solid, and I think that move is going to come in the next few days. So keep a close eye on Gabriel India as well. Another name from the same sector is Electra Green Tech. That also has a wonderful chart. I will just try to open that up and show that to you as well. So Electra Green Tech, I'll just open this because we're talking about the sector. Beautiful chart. Nice contraction. This is also one of the positions that we are currently in, and it could definitely take this entire range out. After a big up move, we are getting into a tighter range, creating higher lows, getting into a tight contraction. We took out all the liquidity, all the supply from these highs. So if we hold the 680, 682 area, I think we're going to see another move until 800s, maybe in the next weeks to come. So again, you've seen Electra Green Tech, you've seen Gabrielle India, and you've also seen the other stock, which was Lumax Technologies, and all of them from the same sector, setting up in a very similar fashion. So please keep an eye on that. Next up is CCL, which is Continental Coffee Limited. So basically, this stock has been a darling for institutions. Wonderful move, up move on the daily chart is visible over here, and now the stock is probably ready to blast off and create a new all-time high. So we are although we are not into this position right now, but I think I'm going to be looking to create a position in this. Earnings were fantastic, very good growth in CCL products. If you look at the bigger picture of this particular company, stock is trading at all-time highs. The only thing that I don't like is that the stock has never really created, a an impulsive move after a base. So right, so over here the stock created a base, but then the impulsive move was again, subdued into another base, another impulsive move subdued into another base. So that's the only concern. But I think CCL products and Tata Coffee both are extremely strong. Coffee prices are on a roll in South America, in North America, in Europe, in China. Coffee prices are very high, high margins, and CCL products, as I said, earnings were very good and it's a high growth stock. So keep an eye on this one as well. Whether if it starts to trade near its 625 areas, I think it could start exploding over there. Another infra name, another engineering name, but I would not recommend you to trade this. Just observe this because the earnings are out. Earnings are very good. Stock might be gapping up, but I just kept the stock on the watch list just for you to understand that the engineering theme is really solid. The next stock is again a small cap stock, which is Indraprastha Medico, and this is I think another stock which is creating very good structures. If you are a swing trader and if you're looking to swing something for the next 2-3 months, I think this could be interesting. So what we're doing is we're basically creating a new base over here. So this is like a new base that we are up to right now, and after like a big gap, and I think the base formation is complete now. And the last time the stock created a base after a big gap up, so you can see a similar story here, right? A gap up, the stock created a base, and then the stock had like a massive 80% rally. The stock is doing the same thing again, a massive gap up, a base build up that's happened over here, and now I think the stock is ready to witness another leg of the rally. Now if you've seen that hospitals and nursing stocks, for example Aster DM, we've also seen that with Rainbow Child Care hospitals, and we've also seen that with Apollo hospitals, and to some extent we have seen that with Vijaya Diagnostics and Kim's specialty hospitals. So all of that theme has done well, and I think this should be on radar. Again, this is not trade ready yet, but just keep this on radar. Maybe in this particular week it starts to mature out and gives you a nice move. Next up, we've got Vadilal Industries. Again, this is a stock which has come out of its narrow range over here. So you can see consolidation contraction is done. Now I think there's going to be a continuation play on this Vadilal Industries. This is remember, this is an Ashish Kucholia portfolio stock. That doesn't really mean that you have to go and buy this tomorrow, but the momentum is really strong after like a very impulsive, good imbalance move with displacement. You're getting a consolidation, and the price is moving out of its weekly and daily base. So I think lots of room for the price to go maybe another 10% from here. So keep a watch out on that as well. Then there are a few stocks which are again from the small cap BSE universe. So this is Modern Insulators. I would not recommend you to trade this. These are very low liquidity stocks, but just try to observe the technical structure that is being set up, another base, and the stock is definitely ready to move. Next up is Modi Naturals. Sorry. So even this stock is also doing similar things, and I think the next leg of the move that this stock is going to give, I think it's going to be absolutely explosive, given the fact that the range that the stock is currently in is very narrow. So if you look at the overall chart of this has been like a past runner, and I think there is lots of things to be done. Again, I would ignore you, ask you to not touch either of these stocks. Just observe the price structure in both Modi Naturals and Modi Insulators, sorry, Modern Insulators. I think it's going to be a good thing to observe on how stocks come out of bases and then move very strongly. Another stock which has been the darling of Dalal Street, I think Aircon. After RVNL's blockbuster run, Aircon is setting up to do really well. Aircon's result was also fantastic, and the stock again doing a similar thing, trying to come out of its range over here. A very strong mover, consolidation, and then moving out. The only problem, however, I see with this trade is I think RVNL's earning Rail Vikas Nigam Limited earnings just came out and the numbers were very bad. So railway stocks could really take a hit tomorrow, maybe because of bad RVNL earnings, because the street was expecting a lot of revenue growth, lot of earnings growth, never really happened. So maybe only RVNL is getting impacted with that, or maybe it takes all these others with it. So if you're trading IRCON, or if you're having a position in IRCON, just make sure that you are more cautious based on the information that I've shared with you, right? I think another stock in the same category is Alpine Housing Development. I think it is coming out of this range. Should be interesting to watch on what it does now. Not trade ready yet, but again, something that definitely deserves to be on your watch list. The next one is Genborg Pharmaceuticals. Stock is trading at all-time highs, and the stock is now, creating a narrow range over here. So once this narrow range is either the stock is trading near this narrow range or this contraction, I'm definitely going to be interested in this. Again, it's a BSE only stock and it is a small cap. So, if you don't know how to trade mid caps and small caps, stay away from it. But obviously, you can ignore what you can just observe what the price does from the next, few days onwards. Again, it's not ready for a trade tomorrow. Keep it on radar. It could be ready anytime soon. Next up is GMDC, and again, that this is another play in the Gujarat space. So Gujarat companies, if you look at GMDC, you look at GNFC, you look at GACL, you look at any Gujarat company, they have done exceedingly well based on what the Gujarat government is doing in terms of the benefits that they're getting, and that is one of this. It's one of the stocks in the same theme, and again the stock is into this range, so I'm going to be looking forward to this on what it does when it tries to come out of this range, because your next supply is at around 178ish area, so there is a decent 7-8% move that could take place in GMDC. So again, something that interested me, and hence I shared it with you. The other stock is Medico Remedies. I think this is also one of the stocks which has come out of a similar base structure. All these structures are very similar, all of those which I'm trying to share with you. And it has come out of this base and it looks absolutely fantastic. But again, today the stock has already moved up. Risk reward is not favorable, but maybe if the stock gives you an intraday or maybe a BTST kind of a play in this one, you can kind of explore that. Electra Green Tech, I have already spoken about this stock to you. So more or less, these are the stocks that I'm going to be watching out. Engineering stocks is going to be my first thematic pick. The other is going to be auto OEM, which included the likes of Lumax Technologies, Gabrielle, and Electra Green Tech. So I think these stocks could do well. And apart from that, I think there is one more theme where stocks have done well, and that has to be the brokerages, right? So Edelweiss Financial Services, that did really well. ICICI Securities, that also did really well. And insurance companies like NIACL and GICRE, NIACL is reporting earnings today. The earnings were not out. So I think insurance, private insurers and public insurers, PSU insurers, both should be on your radar. I think these are the themes that I'm going to be watching out for, and these are the stocks. Now, always remember that the market overall is extended. We are trading at very rich valuations. You get into a wrong stock at the wrong price, you'll have to pay a price for that. So right now, as a market, probably only suitable for professional traders who know what they're buying, what they're selling, at what price, what's their trade management, what's their trade idea. So if you're a newbie or if you are someone who is very new to the market, do not chase this rally. We are in a long-term bull market. This rally will continue, but after a breather. So please manage your risk really well. And finally, a disclaimer, we are yet to be SEBI registered. So please, all the ideas that I've shared are solely for educational purposes. And please do your cautious research and your own analysis before investing or trading anything. Just for all people who want to ask, our SEBI license is almost on the stages of getting its final approval. So probably in the next 30 days we will have that. So we will not have to face this. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will make sure that I keep this series of episodes running very smoothly on a daily basis. And I hope you liked the research that I've done, and I hope you learned something new from it. Thank you so much, and please make sure that if you are liking this content, make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure to like the video. That would obviously motivate me to make more such videos, not only stocks to watch, but more videos in terms of technical research, fundamental research, a lot of stocks here and there, which I will share with you, both from a small cap, mid cap, large cap perspective, and both from an intraday and swing trading perspective. Thank you so much for tuning in. All the best. Take care and bye bye.